Hi, everyone. Uh, as you all know, I'm Georgian Leslie. I am an author. I have written one book and I'm now writing my second book. I've been exploring life and self-discovery, and I've actually dig deep into a number of questions in an effort to try to understand life, understand myself, and understand others. And one of the burning questions for me has been, for a very long time, has been, what is love? I have tried to look inside, ask myself that question, but somehow for a number of years, for many years, as a matter of fact, I just didn't get clarity in what love really is. I've looked outside as well. I have observed different relationships, whether there's work relationships. I've observed, couples. I've observed family. I've observed friends, and I still did not understand what love is or what love was. So thank you all for coming, so that at least, to explore that question, and I'd love to hear everyone's perspective as to what they think love really is. So what is love?
Oh, well, I would say that love is a great interest and pleasure, in something or someone. When you find love for someone, it means that you love that person unconditionally. You love that person with everything. It's just like how you have your child, right? Because you're a mother, and the love that you have for your child, it is different. It is out of this world, and we would call that love agape love, right? A love that you would willingly give up your own life, or give a person one of your organs, just like that. That's what I think love is still. Mm-hmm. But I won't pull it out. I will just leave some of that for Miss Claudia.
Well, you already know my perspective on that. Again, it exists. It's a big word. It has a whole lot of different interpretations, meanings, connotations, you name it. And everybody has their own experiences that they can connect some parts and, to love. For me, I just think that it exists, but it depends on, again, I don't necessarily, I'm not one who's that big on the unconditional love thing. I just feel like we'd want it, but it doesn't necessarily. It's like one of those things that there's always that condition, at least one. Love is caring and it's giving and it's all that good stuff where the Bible talks about. It knows no hatred, it knows no whatever, it's kind, it's everything. But it's also something that each individual is going to experience it differently. Correct. Even in a parent-child relationship, a parent will say you love the child and they still beat the child. How can you hit somebody that you love? In a same couple situation, right? A guy and a girl, I love you dearly, I'll do everything for you. He'll buy her the world, but at the end of the day, she slip up and she gets some lick. So how do you call that love, Would you love her that much that you just don't want her to whatever, so you're gonna hurt her in the process, and you call it love? So there are conditions, always conditions. So again, it's interpretation. It's how you were exposed to it, because again, a lot of it has to do with your upbringing. It's what you saw as love between your parents, if you ever even saw that. Some people never did see that. So again, it's all up to the individual interpretation of it. But at the end of it, we know what the Bible says about it. Yeah, it's kind, it's good, it knows no, you name it. Whoever knows the Bible knows all the good things that it says about love. But we all have to experience it differently, and we all are. And as Bridget said, we're Georgian. we're exploring it. We're still discovering what it really is. So I'm open to hearing anybody else's perspective. But for me, I think while we're living, we're still exploring love. I don't think there's ever any end to what you can experience where love is concerned.
Yeah.
And there's something to what you said just now earlier. Sometimes we mistake love with obsession, because when a person is obsessed with you, that person will hurt you,
Yep.
But I will leave some of that for Mr. Selective,
So what do you think, Selective? What's your view of love?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Can you put your mic up a little? It sounds a bit low. Can you put your volume up a little?
Sure.
I think, no, you're going. Technology.
Yeah, I think it's the loudest it could get.
Yeah, it's loud now. It's loud enough now.
Sure. Yes. I have a few questions. I want to ask Claudia and Miles.
Yeah, Mario.
What's up? Yes. But I'll go to a quick definition. It is a driving force for me, that's overwhelmingly powerful. And if used the correct way, that can move mountains. So it's a driving force, if used in the correct way, that can move mountains. That's how I would describe it. That's how strong or powerful it is.
Yeah. I would like to add to that. All right, so I know this is a really big topic. I even reached out to someone today and I mentioned that we're going to be having a discussion, and it is, what is love? And everyone, sometimes we ask the question, what is love? And most times, I think Maya, are you still there?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm still here. Somebody was calling.
So most times I ask the question, what is love? Most times when I ask people what love is, it's like the response that I get is like, I still wasn't clear as to what it is. Is it something external or is it something internal? Is love or is it something? So I asked someone today, what is love? It's like, I was told like, I don't know, because a lot of people tend not to ask themselves that questions. Just like, a lot of people tend not to ask their question, who am I? So what is love, I believe, and who am I are questions that can get someone to, get caught off guard if they're really asked those questions, because these are not questions that we ask ourselves. And despite I've been asking and trying to figure out for a very long time what love is, today I was doing some research, and something came to me. I think I had a reckoning today. And I'm like, that was like a turning point for me, because I thought to myself, all along I've been looking for love outside. And until eventually I feel that love is universal. And then I keep looking, I still didn't have clarity. And then I asked myself today, came to me today, is that love, I believe, and that's my opinion of love and my perception, and I just figured that out today. That I come to that conclusion for myself today. I know everyone has different perspective and different outlook as to what it is. But for me, I think love is not what someone do for you, I believe. Love is not something. And as Selective would say, I believe love is internal. And I feel love is inside. I feel love is not something that you see or find in something or someone. I feel love is something that we express from inside out. And even though many people would attach love to something or someone, it's just like you'll say looking for love. If you're looking for love, what are you looking for? If someone is looking for love, what is the love that they're looking for? That's the question that.
Well, I guess if I were to interject, I would say they're looking for love, or they're looking for what they perceive as love. Because they objectify, a lot of people objectify love. As you said before, you say, okay, you give me a gift, you love me, right? You take me out to the movies or wherever, you love me. You give me a hug or you call me, you love me. I mean, because that is their exposure to what love really is from the get-go. Love is in the eye of
the beholder.
Okay, that too. And I would also say, wherever there's that void and that person fills it, if you're not careful, that can be seen as a love gesture. Make sense?
Yeah, a lot of sense.
When you say love gesture, can you elaborate a bit? For
a love gesture meaning that for example, if I'm here and something, say I'm needing, what do I need? I need someone to tell me, to cheer me up, or to make me, I'm going through a grief period. Let's use that. Some, like, hey, familiar territory. And somebody comes into your life at the right time, at your weakest moment, at your most vulnerable moment, and gives you something that you're looking for, which could be a hug, the closest and the tightest hug that you've ever felt in your life, that somewhat fills that void and make you feel better in the moment. And they start telling you the nicest things that you've never heard before at your most vulnerable period. That person could pass as somebody who loves you eventually if they stick around long enough. Yeah, but you could easily say that person loves you because they were there for you at a time when you needed them and they fill that void. Is that love? How long are we gonna stick in that relationship to find out if that was really love?
Can I interject?
Yes.
That's called mixed feelings, because love is a feeling, and feelings is something that we can't hold on to. It's like the wind. It don't have a body at all, so we can't hold on to the feeling, because the feeling will die out at some point. It will die. So we call that mixed feelings, because you're going through a lot, and that person just came to you at the right time. You just caught up in that feeling, but eventually that feeling will die out, and you will truly see that you did not love the person. But besides love, all right, I was brought up in a single parent home. Right, my mom, she wasn't there all the time, and it was just me, my grandmother, and my brothers. And really and truly, I'm just talking now, because of talk's sake. But I don't know what love is. I am telling you the truth. I don't know what love is. I have never experienced love. One time I said I love a girl, it was just mixed feelings, because I just don't know what love is. Because my mother, she wasn't there to show me a mother love, right? I didn't have that father to show me the fatherly love, right? But my grandmother, she was there, but in which like she would sometimes slap we and tell us some bad words and etc. You know, but for somehow when she slapped me, I feel love. So I find love in pain.
Yeah. Oh.
And
I
it's
find love in
funny.
pain.
It's funny you say that because and your honesty and your candidness is definitely appreciated, because not many people would definitely come out and say that. And a lot of people be surprised to know how many people feel the same way about that whole love thing, because a lot of us, especially given our background, our parents didn't really know how to express it. And we didn't really, a lot of us came up saying, parents love a man because that's them beat we and them do all kind of something, send to go to school and whatever. But is that how you treat somebody that you really love? But that's how we were exposed to it from, that's our foundation of what love is. And a lot of us learn love or learn what love is or what we think love is as adults, believe it or not. And some of us are still searching for what it really is, as Georgian would say.
Can I say something real
Yeah.
quick? Yes, Claudia. I have a question for you. Do you have your own personal definition of what love is based on your experience, what you went through, what you've been exposed to or continue to be exposed to? If you was to narrow it down, would you want to have your own personal definition of love? So Mark can probably look at it. Say he doesn't know what love is.
You know what? You kind of hit me right there, because I've always seen what it's not. And I'm always quick to tell you what it's not. And you kind of bring that to light for me. Yeah, you did. What it's not. Like, that's not love over there. So yeah, I think first of all, love is kind. Love is gentle. Love doesn't know anger. If you're going to love me, you can't be angry at me. You know, I mean, anger is an expression, of course, and but anger to the extent where you're going to hurt me, you know? I believe that love is, you know it when you see it, right? It's all gentle. It comforts. It serves to, it gives hope. It gives pleasure. It gives all, you find the adjectives. That's just humanly, like what we're here for, right? Like what we were brought here to do, to be at peace, to be that person that brings you that comfort level that you can say, yeah, you know, right. I love this, my feet, you know, that type of thing. Because this person brings you to being yourself. If you feel that you have to pretend around somebody, there's no love there. You can't make it up.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a serious, high and spicy definition. I like it a lot. That's really, really tight.
All right. So do you think? Okay. So do you think? I'm throwing it out there, and then you can respond. Do you think what you just expressed, Claudia, is that an expression of love, or is that love?
It's love.
Or is love expression of love?
Love is actually.
I think it's both.
If someone,
Yeah.
I think it's both.
So you're saying that love is what you see, then you physically see
and express.
And express.
Yes.
So you physically see. These are the things that you see. But I'm gonna give my take on that.
Go ahead.
My take on that is, love, I believe, is not external. That's my reckoning this morning. I came to the conclusion, and this is something I've always been wondering, because I've always been looking for the expression of love. I've always been looking to say, you know, does he love me, or does she love me, or is there love in the environment? I've always been looking outside. I kept on looking where it is. I'm looking for it. And I've heard people say all the time, looking for love. But where is it? Sometimes you may have two people in a relationship and they're very happy and they love. But under the same breath, if something happens, then, you know, they're gone. for instance, suppose you say there's a condition attached to the love, then, so to speak. For argument's sake, there's a condition that's attached to love where some people may be in a relationship because money is involved or something is involved. What is that? What if it's that condition is removed? Do you think love is still gonna be there, or it's gonna go as well?
Well, it ties right back to what we were saying before, no? There's a feedback.
There's a feedback somewhere. I think it's Mayo.
No, it's not me. It's not me.
Oh, it's selected. Is it better? Okay, that's better.
Well, if I was to say anything, I think you can show somebody love and vice versa to the point where they can probably smell it, taste it, hear it, touch it, see it. You know, that's how I use my five senses. Since we are all born with five senses, and they usually alarm us from threats. You know what I mean? So those are good ways for me to, like, you know, check it out. But I think you can love somebody to the point where you can show them, or vice versa. You can hear it from the voice, you can hear it, see it, touch it, taste it, smell it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely
we still is it you selected? We're still getting feedback over here.
So yeah, definitely.
All right. So, but what I'm trying to do here, though, I'm trying to differentiate what you see, what you observe. That this you see this as a result of love. You do this as a result of love. That's how I interpret it. As a result of love, as a result of love, I show someone I care. As a result of love, I give someone the world. As a result of love. What is that love? That's my interpretation. And maybe because I've been thinking about it so long and hard, and I've been digging so deep, because it's like, what is it then? What is it?
Me, yes, to me, it's a force. It's a force. Force and power. That's what it is. It's a force. It's power. You can. Yeah, it's a force. People can do things with it, good or bad. It's a force.
Okay. And any other view on that? Because I'm just trying to.
I know you said, Bridget, sorry, but I know you've been mentioning that it's external, but I'm not sure if I understand fully what you mean when you say it's external.
No, I didn't.
It's not internal. Okay, you said it's not right. It's not, you can't find it on the external or something like that.
I believe, all right, my belief is that love is really internal. It's something that you have inside. And I feel we are love, and we have abundance of love within us. And I believe that it can either be suppressed because of the external, because I believe because many people believe that it is external, so they're looking for it on the outside. So the love that is within is suppressed because they're not looking inside to look for the love inside. So as a result of looking for the things, and if you don't have it, you're going to feel like you don't have love because you're not seeing the things that you're associated with.
So looking for the love inside, is that self-love we're talking about? Or are we talking about?
I'm talking about love in general, because I believe love is love. I believe love is love. But what I believe, and I feel, once we feel that love and the things that it does to us, the vibration, the feeling that we get, the high vibration, the feeling, then it feels so good and it radiates on the outside. So what that does, because we feel that love, we're able to care for the next person beside us. Because we feel that love, we're able to share. So the things that we do, I believe, is as a result of the love that we have tapped into, that we have on the inside. That's my belief. And that was my reckoning this morning. I was like, oh, because I believe that because we keep looking outside, then we don't realize that love is really within, and there's abundance of love within us. And when we tap into that abundance of love, or become aware of the love that we have in us, then it charges us. It's like a battery. It charges us, and we get that high vibration or that feeling that makes us feel like we're on cloud nine, then, so to speak. And when we have that feeling, then we want to do things like caring for someone. We want to share, and we want to do all that thing. And another thing, so I believe that because we associate love with a person, then that person help us to tap into the love that we have inside. And maybe when we associate love with like a thing, that thing help us to tap into the love that we have inside. And when we keep looking outside for that thing or that person, then we don't get to tap in to what we have ourselves. That's what I believe. That's what, I believe. So I think it's really an expression. So the things I believe when we say, oh, he did this, and that's love. I think that's an expression of the love that a person is radiating from within, and that comes out in his action. That's what I think.
Okay. Without civic, right? Civics, would there be love?
We're love. We're born with love.
I don't know, Bridget.
But if you don't have anyone to,
you, but I don't necessarily.
No, I agree. I do agree with your opinion. But what I'm saying that if you don't have somebody to interact with, right, then you won't get to tap in to this inner thing that you're talking about. This inner love.
I don't agree. I'm here by myself today, and I felt so much love, it was unbearable.
Well, I think that
I felt so much love, it was so unbearable. I was like,
I think that
wow.
Love is greed.
Huh?
Love is greed. Because we all want so much love.
Yes.
No, but
I'm
we,
not being
and
funny
the thing is, we always say you want to say something, Selective? Oh, we want to say we want love, but how is it that we want it when we already have it? We have it. That's what I think.
We're designed to share it. We don't just have it, but we're designed to share it. No, but you can't just keep love to yourself. Love is meant to share.
No, but the thing is, yeah, it's meant to share. But you radiate love, I think. You radiate it.
Yes.
For the moment, you can walk into a room and people can see love dripping off of you, or can feel it, not see, but dripping. See with radiating off of you. You ever see somebody like walking and it's like they look like they're so happy and so vibrant and
Well, that's not necessarily love though. That's just maybe joy and the peace that they have it within them. And sometimes we just get them all confused, but love is a separate thing from love can radiate, but it depends on who is looking at you and what kind of eyes they're looking with.
Well, let me say this. I feel like today's world, they so twisted the real identity of love so much so that, it gets buried with all kinds of things, materials, money, or what I can get, so definitely in today's world, it's difficult for somebody that's earnestly like looking for to find it, because that to me is not a priority in today's society. You don't have to love somebody to be with them as long as they can provide for you, and hey, it is what can he get out of it, you know, while I'll marry him for his house, you know, that kind of thing. But for me, I could definitely relate to Miles what he's saying that, you know, he doesn't know the concept of love. For me, that it's something that allow you to be, as she said, peace with yourself. It's something that allow you to think clearly, motivate you to go out and do things, to make you see something that you never saw before, or make you think of something new. Like, you know, it's endless. I would say it's endless. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know. A lot of person look for love in the wrong places. In the wrong places, you know.
So where would you
Some people.
where would you look?
Yeah, good question.
Where would I look for love?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, you know, based on my experience, where I find love where my friends and some close family. And
So
now I find love here because this is love to me.
Okay, so you know what love is.
I know what love is,
Okay.
but I've never experienced love to that extent, you know.
Okay.
That sort of love, because you have all different type of love, you know.
Like, you mean you haven't experienced it with some close person?
Yeah, some close person, you know.
Okay.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love my friends.
All right.
But that's what I always try to, maybe because I tend to look at it at a deeper level. But what I'm trying to understand, when you said you never experience it with someone, I'm trying to get a mental picture, right? Of when you say you never experience it with someone, is that you never feel something coming to you, or or do you mean that they don't trigger that feeling of love inside of you?
Yeah, they don't trigger it, you know.
So love is inside then. It's just that they don't
Love is inside.
trigger the feeling of love within you.
Yeah, you're talking about a relationship, right? Like a personal relationship,
I'm talking
right?
about relationship.
All right, cool.
You know, it could be relationship between you and your mother, relationship between you and your father, or relationship between you and your spouse.
I got you.
You know.
So,
Yeah.
another question. Sorry, go ahead. Another question.
Love for your friends is different, you know. Love for your friends is different, right?
Yeah, I got that. That's why that's why I say personal.
Yeah, but personal love, like,
right.
I have never experienced personal love,
right?
Because I thought that my sisters and some of my brothers love me, but in which, like, you know, they give to me hate, you know. So I have to just sup on it and say, okay, this is what my love is. You know, I take that as my supper, as my bambai. Jamaican talk, you know, as my bambai. You know, and I sup on it. So that thing grows inside me. So where I find love is around where my brethren hang out on the corner. I would go there and sit, have a chat with them, you know. And when you truly know that you love somebody, especially a friend, is when something happened to them. It's either when your friend died or end up in jail. And when you feel that thing deep within, as most men don't cry, but we cry from within the heart. Most men don't cry tears. We cry from within the heart.
So
you're bringing pain.
Pain.
You're bringing pain into it. Yeah, I can tell. Like, you're bringing pain into it. Like,
yeah.
When you have nothing else to turn to, you find that person. Like, you know what I mean? Okay.
And that one person is gone. You know?
So.
All right.
Experience too. So pain and experience definitely helps.
Pain, yeah. So I'm gonna cut a long story short, right? I have a friend where the way how I love this virgin, but He did not know that I really have this sort of love for him. You know, I love him as a brother because we grew up together. But he was older than me, and he was diagnosed with cancer. You know. Anyways, things got worse. He lost his leg. You know, he began to lose a lot of weight and etc. Unable to help himself. And out of all the friends and some of the family, I was one of the persons that was there for him. I bathe him, you know, I take care of him. I sleep at the house with him. In the middle of the night when he couldn't breathe, I was the one that was there with him, you know? And before he go, like, he was like, bro, you know, me never see you as my real virgin. And one thing him tell me, I mean, I take that to my grave. He said to me, say, it's the man where you can't last by your finger, or the family member where you can't last by your finger, that person is a genuine friend. And that friend love you the most. The person that you consider less to be your friend. You know? But the kind of respect that I have for him, I was there for him. Right through. Some man would say, yo, me not beard no man. In a Jamaican term. They must say, me not beard no man. You know, but I was there because it's my virgin. I take very good care of him. And I have a sister that passed away. I did not cry. Some other friends that passed away, I didn't cry. You know, I just said life goes on. But when he died, like, I leave work and I went to the hospital, and, you know, I saw a family member of his walked out, head hanging down. So I turned and I said, Lou, what's going on here? And she's like, him gone. So what I talk about? I just talked to the man on the phone last night and tells me I come check him. I saw the water pushing out a stretcher with a body bag, with someone in the body bag. When she pointed and said, that's him. And when I run, I hug up the person and feel for the 1 foot. And I tell you, right in the crowd, we just start crying. My cry from the hospital come straight to my yard. You know? I feel it so bad. I don't even want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And that's how I that's how I experience love in a sense, because, like, it's a person I used to idolize the person. I always want to be like him. You know? He was a good baller, you know? And he was many things, because he was one of the person who inspired me to do barbering as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a lot of things that I just said that I wish if I could be him, because I thought that I wasn't good at anything at all, because my family used to cuss me and say, boy, you're worthless and you're this and you're that, you know, worthless, you know, put it in the right term, worthless. You're worthless and now come to nothing good. And for somehow, you know, we lived in the same community and he always get the glory. Everybody likes to be in his company. So I just say, like, I want to be him. I wish if I could be him. You know? So he inspired me. I started act like him, walk like him, try to talk like him. You know?
Yeah. So use your
and that's how I built the bond. I built that bond, a silent bond. You know?
So you think that your love is experienced through pain?
Through pain. Correct.
Well, if you mentioned before that you weren't, you weren't exposed to love, as a child, and
yes, correct.
Again, a lot of us can relate to that. So of course we understand how you would now see someone who shows you, I'm sure he cared about you at some point. he embraced you more than your family, and so you eventually kind of start to, develop a special bond with him as well, which is what happens, especially when you are lacking. Like there was a void that he filled. That, of course, I have no doubt that you love him, because that's the love that somebody, that's the first person who's ever extend or overextend themselves to you, and you idolize like that and all of that stuff. So I can relate. I can definitely relate to it. But I just, as you brought up earlier on, so many different facets and parts that connect that whole love thing, because one would look at it and say, well, that's just a brethren, and hey, but it's love. You felt something. Yeah, you felt something for this person. You connected with him at a level that you never even connected with your own family.
Good.
So it's that type of love. So when we look at that love, and as I was saying before, that umbrella, that love, it's like this big umbrella, and there's so many different, little spokes under the umbrella, the different things that build that umbrella, they fall right under it, because there's so many. There's respect, there is there's you name it, there's care, there's compassion, there's empathy, there's all this stuff that brings that word love into perspective and into, the whole, that makes it real, that makes it, because as Bridget said before, it's more like it's an internal thing, it's a spiritual. You ever meet somebody and say, I connect with you? You sometimes you wonder if that connection is really a love connection. What kind of connection is that? When you say I connect with you, I feel you, because you kind of bring in the energy that I'm looking for.
Yeah. Two things. One, I wanted to ask, how would you differentiate between admiration for a person and love? That's two things. Is there a difference between the two, admiration and love? And so is there a difference between admiration and love?
Well, for me, I will describe love, the real thing or the ideal thing, as a wholesome. It's a wholesome, like the love you feel for your grandmother as a child. That's wholesome. Love you feel for your mother and father as a child growing up, especially if they can good care of you, or at that age, at that stage, that's wholesome. So me, love is wholesome. When you love somebody, there's no
Condition.
not even condition. There's no telling that it's not love.
No bond. Love knows no boundary.
That's true too. But when you really love somebody, nobody can tell you it's not love. You know it.
So what about admiration?
That's definitely different from love. You can admire somebody, the way they speak, the mannerism, how they carry on themselves, how they conduct business. You admire how truthful somebody is, or how nice somebody is, or how clever somebody is. But to be in love, being also intimate too. Love is intimate, but to be in love with that person to the point where you will run 1,000 miles for that person, or to the point where you risk losing your job for that person.
I think your volume is down now.
Oh yeah, I say
Yeah. So one more thing. So what would you call what would you call
admiration.
I don't know if it's admiration I want to say, but where the relationship between celebrities and their fans, what do you refer that? What would you classify that as?
All right. I have something here towards that.
Celebrities and fans.
Yeah. Is that love? Is that admiration? What would you?
Well, for me, in order for you to love somebody, you gotta intimately know them. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I say intimately, like for men and women, I think okay, they have to be physical, sexual relationship. No, like intimately is like, you know what I'm saying? Like mood of that person, like the mood they in. Like, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think because you're moving it, then it tends to, yeah, you maybe need to keep it slow.
Like,
Or you can let it go because it's loud enough. It's just that when you move it like that, then the wind or whatever it is tend to, you don't have to hold it. Let it go. Let me see what happens.
you know what? Let me just take this second. So let me see.
Yeah, please.
Okay. One thing, you see, admiration is respect.
Mm-hmm.
While love is based on affection, admiration
Mm-hmm.
is about respect.
Right.
That's the difference between it. When you respect someone,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And the
Right.
thing is, you know, the way how I was brought up, I prefer loyalty over love, because when a person is loyal to you, that person won't harm you. But in which the person can love you so badly, where they can't afford to lose you, they take your life. Because love, you know, can turn into what you call it now, obsession.
Obsession.
Yeah, obsession. And that obsession can turn into abuse.
Well, then that's difference. That's then you no longer fall in love. You know what I'm saying? You have fallen out of love. You know what I mean?
Out of love into something different.
There
That's
you go.
toxic. That's toxic love at that point. You
Toxic
don't
love.
want that.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
But admiration and love is it's two different things.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree.
Love is about affection and admiration is about respect.
Right.
So I respect you, Miss Georgian. You know?
Mm-hmm. Georgian.
Yeah.
That's okay.
No,
Just
it's
like the
respect.
mates. I
No,
guess
it's
the
respect.
mates. Yes, it's respect. He's not trying to age you, okay?
No, I know that, but you see, because I got so used to the dropping the miss for such a long time.
Well, besides that, I address younger persons than me as Mister as well, you know?
I think it's a cultural thing, though. I think it's a cultural thing, because I remember when I first left Jamaica, the very first time I left Jamaica, and I went to work overseas, and I was referring to my boss as Mister, and of course, I think I break in the habit of he didn't want me to say Mister or address him, put a title to his name. Just have to get so used to the first name. So anyway, back to the question. So the difference between the love for fans and real love, what do
Real love.
yeah, love and love for
Real
fans.
love is all about
You think
affection.
that's love, or what do you think that is? Love.
Yes, it is love.
Fans.
It is love, because you have some persons that just what you call it now, some young ladies that idolize or see Michael Jackson as an wait, what you call it now? You have a word for that? Somebody can give me that word?
Idol.
See Michael Jackson as an
Idol.
An icon.
Yes, an icon. Yes, I said it earlier.
Okay.
And you know, just by those people following up on Michael Jackson, these young ladies, they fall in love with a person that they never see in person. They would do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even some people just faint and you think that they're playing. No,
Right.
they're not playing. They literally fall in love for a person that they never see in the physical form.
Right.
You know? It's just like sometimes when I hear some good music, you know, some good music, some good Celine Dion, you know, just by listening to the music, you know, and she's singing about love, you know, affectionate music. I'm getting into it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm feeling the music. I'm loving the music. And I'm loving her because of the music.
Yeah, and that's why I'll go back to saying that I personally believe, and that's my personal belief. I know everybody has different perspective where this thing called love is concerned, but I think that the things stimulates the love that is within. And I feel like as well that we have love inside of us, abundance of love inside of us. It's just that we don't tap into it. And there are certain things that triggers it. And like the music would trigger the love. So you feel it at that time, and then you
Feel it, yeah.
radiate it on the outside. And maybe someone may trigger that love, and then you radiate it on the outside. So I think, you know, that's my view. So here we have, you know, love being everyone has this different perspective, as we said, and selective, you see it as a force. I too believe that is a force. You see it as it could be external, internal. Is that what I'm hearing?
Right. It's endless.
It's endless, all powerful, almighty, whatever
All right.
it is. So
What I'm going to use. And I have something for you, Miss Georgian.
Uh-huh.
All right. We're going to draft up something on the Christian society.
yeah,
Right?
and can we put that for another time?
No, it's
Okay.
about love, you know. It's no,
Okay.
it's about love.
Okay.
So when you look into the Christian society and you look at you know, an image of Jesus Christ,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have so many persons from across the world that is bowing down to this image, and they're crying out Jesus, and they love Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you have to say about that?
For me, I believe in the supreme being. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that I totally, fully believe in the supreme being. And I feel that is my source of love. And that's my source of power. So, and I feel and for those people, when they tap into that, that's what pulls the love out of them.
Just same thing with music.
So it's a spiritual, so it's like, so some people look at it from a spiritual perspective. Some people look at it from a science perspective. So, you know, some people look at it from a physical perspective, what they can see, taste, smell, you know what I mean? So we can look at it from different perspective, and it's what triggers it for the person. But I personally believe that we're all love, we have a lot of love inside of us. It depends on what triggers it. Whether it's something physical, whether it's someone is something, whether it is a supreme being that triggers it, whether it is, as I said, music, whatever it is that triggers it for you, for me. For me.
So that's how I catch you now, right where I want you.
Mm-hmm.
It is the same thing with these celebrities. You're having these young men and these young ladies crying over these celebrities.
Because that they trigger the love for them.
For them.
Yes. So that is someone that triggers that love for them. So the love is really inside and it is triggered. So it's whatever that triggers that feeling, that emotion of love.
So some selective, you're getting it right?
Yes, definitely.
So it is just different versions to this thing, you know? This thing we call love, different versions.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people will go on a high peak of the mountain looking for love.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. But I think it's a good conversation though. And at least we get to, you know, look into it a little. This is something, as I mentioned before, I've always wondered what love is. And I've been wondering, and people say, I'm looking for love, or, you know, I find love, and I'm like, was love ever lost? But anyway, that's just my view. That's just my perspective. But it's really, really good talking to you guys. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer, but we should definitely meet again and of course, engage in some more interesting conversation. You guys have very, very good viewpoints, and it's really, really a good convo.
Yes, I'm in agreement. I had a good time discussing it with you guys.
Perfect. Claudia?
Okay.
Definitely something to continue to explore, because this is just the tip of the iceberg, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a big topic. It's really huge, and you know, it's good when we can talk about things like this. At least bring some level of awareness, or at least open up so we can see
Yes.
how we view things and how we see. Maybe next time we can talk about who am I? You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people, you know, that's another big question, right? Who am I? All right, thanks, guys.
Well,
we need some
if I may-
personal development here.
if I
Personal
may,
development.
if I may, you know, definitely, if you guys on social media, I'll definitely give you guys my info. I don't see why not, just to.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, all right. So,
Because you did, we did mention that Selective is an up and coming artist, right?
that's correct.
And you're on Instagram. What's your Instagram page?
Instagram is Selective Effective.
Hold on, let me take that down in my phone.
Selective Effective.
Hold on, let me just write it down here.
No problem. I'll spell it. That's SELECTIVE. Then EFFECTIVE.
Okay. But
Okay.
I'll put it under, make a note under the video anyway, so you'll see what it is. Is there anybody else that want to be
Selective Effective, right? On
Yeah.
Instagram, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll send it over to you, Maya.
Okay.
Is there anyone else who wanna say their social media, Instagram page? Well, I can be reached at Georgian_Leslie. That's Georgian_Leslie. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I use the same name for all 3 pages. And guys, look out for my book. It's Emotion, Mind, and Power, A Journey to Self-Discovery. I'm so looking forward to share it with you guys. And
Nice.
thank you so much for joining in. And I'm looking forward to the next conversation.
Sure.
Okay.
And mine, I didn't share mine.
Okay,
Claude
good.
Divine 1, CLAUDIA. Claude
you
Divine, CLAUDIVINE.
Yeah,
Okay.
can you repeat that,
Claude
Claudia?
Divine 1.
Say it slow.
Claude Divine, CLAUDIVINE.
VIAUD.
Yeah. No, Claudie, CLAUDIVINE. And the number 1.
Okay.
That's my Instagram.
Nice.
All right. And my Instagram name is Bubba Dread
Bubba Dread
_JM. But cut it off, man. But cut it off, you know? You have to get rid of the fat to let them out of the head.
All right. What is it?
Bubba Dread _JM.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll have all the social media page address, right? That's what it's called. Or we'll have the information under the video when it's posted.
Awesome.
All right.
No.
So
Yeah.
thanks so much.
Okay.
You. Okay.
Nice chatting
All
with
right.
you
It
guys.
was indeed
Yeah.
a
Take care.
Okay.
And all
Bye.
the best. All the best with everything. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
You all take care.
Okay.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.